Welcome to Weirdos and Wonders, the podcast where we dive into the lore, legends, and mysteries of creatures and urban legends that blur the line between reality and imagination. I'm Anna.
And I'm Keely. Today, we're talking about one of Kentucky's most peculiar and chilling legends, the Pope Lick Monster. This cryptid has captivated imaginations, sparked fear, and tragically, even led to real-life consequences.
Keely, have you ever been to Louisville, Kentucky?
I have. I went for a work conference, but I didn't venture out to the infamous Pope Lick Trestle, where this legend originates. For those who haven't heard of it, the Pope Lick Monster is said to haunt the train trestle that spans Pope Lick Creek. The creature is often described as a part man, part goat, part sheep hybrid, a true Frankenstein of cryptid lore.
That's right. Local tales suggest that the Pope Lick Monster has a grotesque, humanoid body covered in coarse hair, with deformed legs of a goat or a sheep and large curled horns. It is a creature straight out of a nightmare.
The origins of this legend are kind of murky, as are most urban legends. But one of the most enduring legends about the Pope Lick Monster tells the tragic story of a deformed human-goat hybrid exploited as a sideshow attraction in a traveling circus.
Nice.
This creature, reportedly born with a grotesque combination of human and goat features, became a star of the show, albeit unwillingly. Labeled a freak of nature, it was paraded before jeering crowds who paid to gawk at its misfortune. The circus, infamous for its cruel treatment of performers, kept the creature chained in a small cage, deprived of basic comforts. It was whipped and beaten to maintain obedience, further fueling its hatred towards humans.
I think I would feel the same way.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be too fond of humans either. The most sadistic of all of its tormentors was the ringmaster, Colonel Shilkinshed.
Shilkinshed.
I'm hoping I'm saying that right. A man renowned for his ruthless exploitation of his performers. The monster's chance for revenge came one fateful night during a violent storm. As the circus train crossed the trestle above Pope Lick Creek, lightning struck, causing the train to derail and plummet into the creek below. Amid the chaos and destruction, the creature broke free from its confines, consumed by rage and a thirst for vengeance. It reportedly attacked and killed the surviving circus personnel, saving the colonel for last.
I'm sure he was the tastiest.
And I bet he took a long time. Locals claim the monster never left the area, choosing instead to haunt the trestle where it gained its freedom. Today, it is said to lure trespassers onto the trestle, either out of deep-seated need for vengeance or to protect its territory.
Another variation of the circus legend focuses on the creature's survival after the train crash. While this version doesn't emphasize a violent revenge spree, it paints an equally chilling picture. According to this tale, the circus train carrying the creature derailed on the Pope Lick Trestle under mysterious circumstances. I'd put some money on it that it was probably a storm. Witnesses reported hearing terrifying howls and screams in the aftermath of the crash, unlike anything they had ever heard. Some claim to see a shadowy goat-like figure darting into the woods, disappearing into the dense forest. In the following weeks, locals found strange footprints near the creek and reported missing livestock, which fueled rumors that the creature had survived and was living in the area. Over the years, the Pope Lick monster was said to adapt to its new surroundings. It reportedly made his home in nearby caves or built crude shelters in the woods. Some accounts suggest that it scavenged for food, while others believe it haunted animals or even trespassers. Adding to a supernatural twist to this legend is the tale of a ghost train that occasionally appears on the trestle. Witnesses describe hearing the sound of a steam engine and the distant whistle of a train, only to find the tracks empty. Some believe this ghostly phenomenon is connected to the original train crash and the creature's escape.
One of my favorite versions is a more lesser known version of the Pope Lick monster legend. It ties the cryptid's origins to secret government experiments. A trope often found in urban legends.
Government doing secret experiments on people.
Yes, this one gets very X-Men-y, very comic booky. This version weaves a story of science gone awry, resulting in the creation of a monstrous creature. During the Cold War era, rumors began to circulate about secret government research facilities hidden in deep rural America. One such facility, supposedly located near Pope Lick Creek in Kentucky, was said to be experimenting with genetic manipulation.
That's a very X-Men-like. And isn't Louisville, Kentucky, located in the Appalachian Mountains?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very keen place to hide a science facility.
Exactly. The goal was to create a hybrid creature that could be used as soldiers or spies.
Captain America.
Part human for intelligence and part animal for physical prowess and adaptability.
Wolverine.
According to this tale, scientists at the facility spliced human DNA with goat DNA, hoping to create a creature with heightened agility, strength, and survival instincts. The experiment, however, went, you guessed it, horribly wrong. The result was horrifying hybrid, a humanoid with goat-like legs and hooves, twisted horns, coarse hair, and a deformed face. Though the creature possessed extraordinary physical capabilities, it also exhibited violent tendencies and uncontrollable rage.
I'd be pretty upset if I was a human and they were like, hey, we're going to make you part goat.
But they just spliced DNA. They didn't turn a human into a goat. They spliced DNA.
Maybe that human's DNA still has feelings and is angry about it.
Okay, sure. You can go there if you want. The government facility was reportedly located near Pope Lick Trestle. Chosen for its remote location, one night during a massive, you guessed it, thunderstorm, the creature managed to escape, killing several guards in the process. It fled into the dense woods surrounding the area and then disappeared. After the escape, the facility was supposedly abandoned and the government erased all records of its existence.
Very X-Men-like.
However, locals began reporting strange sightings near the trestle, a large goat-like figure stalking the area, strange sounds at night, and the disappearance of livestock.
I really feel like I need to stop and ask my husband if there is something that Stan Lee did that was a comic book like this.
Probably.
Put that on the to-do list.
In this version of the legend, the Pope Lick monster is portrayed as a tragic product of human hubris. Mm-hmm. It exhibits powers that reflect its experimental origins, such as it can leap great distances, climb sheer surfaces, and move with unnatural speed.
Superhero.
And instead of imitating voices as the other versions of the legend, this Pope Lick monster uses a form of telepathic suggestion to draw victims towards the trestle, exploiting their curiosity or fear.
Super villain.
The monster is believed to have an uncanny ability to avoid capture, and it uses its intelligence and animal instincts to outwit anyone who tries to track it.
I think if I had to have a choice of which urban legend I wanted to be, it would probably be the scientific experiment.
Yes, the anti-hero, the goat man.
Another version is the Pope Lick Farmer, which is a twisted, hybridized version of a rural farmer who became part of the Pope Lick monster lore. This creature combines elements of a grotesque human, a beastly goat, and eerie farming tools brought to monstrous life. Standing at over 7 feet tall, the Pope Lick Farmer has gnarled goat-like legs with sharp hooves, a hunched back, muscular upper body, twisted horns sprouting from its head like an ominous crown. His face is a blend of man and beast, with glowing red eyes and a jagged snout and a mouth full of yellow jagged teeth. Like,
This could be spicy book talk. Might be interested in this story.
also
Might have lost me though at the yellow jagged teeth.
very Krampus-like though at that on the other sense, but that could also be part of spicy book talk if you needed to go down that route.
Yes.
Yellow
I can
jagged
definitely see Krampus. He just needs the forked tongue, and you pretty much got Krampus.
His face or his clothes resembled the tattered remains of overalls and a farmer's flannel shirt, but they are now fused with his body, overgrown with moss, dirt, and thorny vines. Again, probably good with the whole book talk thing. He wields a monstrous scythe with a blade forged from blackened steel that looks as if it has been wrapped by fire and malice.
Ooh.
Local legends tell of a farmer who lived near the Pope Lick Creek decades ago. He was known for his prosperity during the hard times, always producing abundant crops while others struggled. But behind his success lay a dark secret. Desperate to save his failing farm, he turned to forbidden rituals and made a pact with a shadowy figure said to dwell near the trestle. In exchange for internal prosperity, the farmer agreed a grim price: his humanity. Over time, his body began to change. His farm became cursed, and his soul was forever bound to the land. The crops grew wild and venomous. Animals mutated, and the once thriving property became an abandoned nightmare. Like the Pope Lick monster, the Pope Lick Farmer can mimic voices to draw unsuspecting travelers into the fields or towards the trestle. His scythe is said to act of a will all its own, slashing through anyone who trespasses on his cursed land. The farmer is also said to have a corruption aura, where plants and animals near him rot and mutate, turning into grotesque versions of themselves. He can also vanish into the overgrowth, reappearing suddenly to terrify or attack his prey. It really just sounds like the Pumpkin King. Like a scary movie where you're just walking behind you and you're like, oh, everything just dies.
Yeah.
Those who claim to have encountered the Pope Lick Farmer describe an eerie, abandoned farmland near the trestle. Broken fences, withered crops, and strange animal skeletons litter the area. I'll have to chop that off. Some say they saw him standing in the shadows, watching, his scythe glinting ominously in the moonlight. Others tell of being chased by an unseen figure, hearing the sound of hooves pounding behind them.
Dun, dun, dun. In the 1970s, rumors spread of a secretive cult operating near Pope Lick Creek.
You could not have a good urban legend without a cult reference.
No. This group, shrouded in mystery, of course, was said to practice dark rituals, including animal sacrifices, eerie chanting, and the worship of a goat-headed deity resembling Baphomet. The cult allegedly believed the Pope Lick monster was a physical manifestation of their god and performed ceremonies to summon or appease it. The cult's activities centered around a farm known as the Four Winds, marked by a distinctive red and black fence and ominous signs warning trespassers to stay away. Locals reported hearing tribal drumming, and seeing strange bonfires on the property. Others claim to find mutilated animal carcasses in the area, believed to be sacrifices to the creature. According to this legend, the cults summoned the Pope Lick monster to protect their land and practices. Those who ventured too close were said to disappear, their fates unknown. The legend suggests the creature serves as both a guardian and an enforcer of the cult's dark will.
Interesting. I guess you could summon demons to protect your cult if you needed to.
Yeah.
I thought cults were just worshiping of like crazy people who just needed that self-satisfaction. You know, like Leos. Don't at me, Leos. I'm sorry. One thing that sets the Pope Lick monster apart from the cryptids is the sheer danger associated with its legend. The trestle where the creature is said to reside is still an active railroad bridge, and yet thrill seekers are drawn there, hoping to catch a glimpse of the monster or to experience its supposed supernatural abilities.
Exactly. Local lore claims the Pope Lick monster lures people to the trestle using hypnosis or mimicry. Some say it can imitate a loved one's voice, drawing victims onto the tracks where they meet tragic fate.
How would you feel if you heard a past loved one voice?
Yeah, I know it would be a trap.
Yeah, I think I would know it would be a trap too, but I'm one of those susceptible people that would go, oh, okay, let me go save the dying animal that I need to. Unfortunately, this isn't just a spooky story. The legends has led to real-life tragedies. Over the years, multiple people have lost their lives or have been seriously injured while trespassing on the trestle. It is a sobering reminder of how folklore can intersect with real-world consequences.
Right, and it is important to note that the Pope Lick Trestle is a railroad bridge located near Louisville, Kentucky, spanning Pope Lick Creek. The trestle is part of the Norfolk Southern Railway and remains an active train line despite its association with local lore. The trestle is a tall iron structure standing approximately 90 feet high and stretching about 772 feet across. It was built to accommodate rail traffic over the creek and the surrounding valley. The trestle is private property, and trespassing is both illegal and dangerous. Despite warnings and barriers, some individuals attempt to walk across it, often underestimating how quickly trains can approach. Over the years, there have been numerous fatalities and injuries linked to such attempts, as the trestle offers no safe escape route when trains arrive. Because the trestle is still in use, authorities strongly advise against attempting to access it for safety reasons.
Keely, have you ever walked across railroad tracks?
Of course, I grew up next to a set of railroad tracks, so we played on them all the time.
Did you ever do the thing where you put a penny on the railroad track to see if it would split in half?
Absolutely, and it actually flew off and lodged into a tree next to where my grandpa was standing, so we were never allowed to do that again.
You know, and all this is allegedly, of course, because it is not legal to do that in places. I did it once when I was quite young on a dare to walk over a trestle, but there was no trains coming, thankfully. It was a flat land where you could see them coming for miles if it was about to happen. Very, very scary and stupid, foolish things to be doing as we were younger.
When I was growing up, we actually, when we lived and went to visit my grandparents, you had to pull off of the main road and drive down a trestle to get back on the main road, headed down to their house.
Oh my God.
It was not a working train track at the time, but you had to veer off the road because the road had been flooded, drive up on the trestle, drive down it, and then enter the road on the other side.
The places we've lived in life. There have been multiple deaths and fatalities that have happened. In 1988, a 17-year-old died and another was injured while crossing the trestle. In 1994, a man was trapped on the tracks after an ATV accident. I actually was reading about this. The conductor could see him on the tracks where he was trying to kick the ATV off of him, and he could not stop the train in time, was trying to do that. And he was definitely killed by that train. In 2000, a 19-year-old fell to his death after encountering the train. He was trying to outrun it. And in 2016, tourist Raquel Bain died while searching for the monster, and her boyfriend survived by clinging to the trestle. And that would be awful. And in 2019, Savannah Bright, who was 15, was killed on the tracks, while another one of her friends did survive. Many deaths are attributed to attempts to test bravery. So why does this legend persist, and why are people so fascinated by the Pope Lick monster?
The crazy thing about some of these deaths is they're teenagers, 17, 15, 19.
That's when you think you're the wildest, though.
Crazy. Yeah. Trying to prove something, I guess.
What's that song? The Good Die Young?
Mm-hmm. To answer your question, I think part of it is the universal allure of the unknown. Legends like this tap into our primal fears, a fear of isolation, fear of being hunted, the fear of something unnatural. Plus, it's a local story, something that feels like it belongs to the community, even if it comes with the dark side.
Yeah, and let's not forget that these legends will evolve over time. Modern urban exploration, social media, and YouTube have definitely kept the Pope Lick monster in the public consciousness. Stories about sightings or near misses on the trestle continue to circulate.
Which begs the question, is the Pope Lick monster real? Or is it just a cautionary tale about curiosity and danger?
We may never know if this tale is a fact or fiction. But what we do know is that stories like these serve as mirrors, reflecting our fears, hopes, and the power of storytelling itself.
Well said, Anna. And as always, we want to hear from you, our listeners. Have you ever visited Pope Lick Trestle in Louisville, Kentucky? Do you have your own theories or stories about Pope Lick monster?
Do you have your own theory about the Pope Lick monster after all this research?
I'm going with the government theme. I like to think that we can always blame the government on everything.
And yeah, I'm with you on that one. Send us your thoughts at weirdosandwonders@gmail.com or reach out to us on Instagram at weirdosandwonders.
Thanks for joining us on this very first episode of Weirdos and Wonders. And remember, if you're intrigued by the legend, enjoy it from a safe distance. No monster is worth risking your life for. Until next time, stay curious
and stay safe.